Hey, thanks guys, and welcome to the entertainment panel where we talk about the newest music, movies, and games. Today we're going to be talking about 50 Shades of Grey, the new Alien movie, Grand Theft Auto 5, Hotline Miami 2, and the Billboard Top 100. And today in movie news, 50 Shades of Grey is destroying a gazillion separate box office records with its incredible weekend, I think up to 400 million overseas.
Correction, that was the opening weekend. The weekend after that, it dropped 73% down to about 76 million. Still topping the box offices over Jupiter Ascending and The Seventh Son, which is a shame because those are both really good movies.
Neil Blomkamp is doing the new Alien picture. He has that in development along with his Chappie movie, which is about a robot.
Well, we don't know much about the Alien movie yet.
It's in development.
It's in development.
It's in pre-production. It is separate from Prometheus, I know that much.
It's separate from Prometheus. There's no Prometheus 2 Electric Boogaloo.
It's set in the same universe as Prometheus, right?
Prometheus technically is in the same universe because, like, Ridley Scott was like, I want to make a new Alien movie. Like, nah.
This is how it is. Alien is Dragon Ball Z, and Prometheus is Dragon Ball GT.
Except for, a prequel.
And, Prometheus is good.
Is it?
It's better than Dragon Ball GT. It's just as good as 50 Shades of Grey and Jupiter Ascending.
I still don't see the big deal about 50 Shades.
People, they need that Twilight crack. Twilight was crack to 40-year-old women, and they need that fix, and they're shaking for it, and whips and chains is the only thing that can get you there.
Yeah, from what I hear, it's not that romantic.
It's smut. It is literally just pornography in book form.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think the relationship of 50 Shades of Grey has something beautiful going on.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
I will actually 100% straight argue that book is bad.
Are a couple of 20-something dudes the demographic that 50 Shades of Grey is shooting for, though?
No, however, even as just a 20-something dude, I can say
that it's bad.
I actually read an article that said that this guy got arrested and blamed it for, coming on sexually to a woman and blamed it on the movie.
Yeah, I read that he's I forgot what college he went to, but I read the exact same article that you're talking about.
Yeah, that's insane. And women want to complain that chivalry is dead, but, they glorify movies like this.
Yeah, it's...
There's also been a lot of backlash from different feminist groups at 50 Shades of Grey. Enough about all that BDSM stuff. What is going on with video games, Jake?
Well, Michael, Grand Theft Auto 5 for the PC was announced about E3 last year. However, unfortunately, it has been delayed again and again, and now has been delayed yet again by Rockstar, and is now pushed back to April 14th, back from about a March 10th release date. As compensation, they're giving people $200,000 in-game for the Grand Theft Auto Online section, but is that enough?
So basically what you're saying is Grand Theft Auto 5 is turned into Last Guardian?
Except for it'll come out eventually. The Last Guardian lost its trademark and then they got it back. So
I don't know. I think Grand Theft Auto 5 is pretty dead, man. I think it's never going to come back. It's just going to be lost in that development hell that Last Guardian is in.
I don't think so.
Maybe Rockstar's working on something, but I don't know why Grand Theft Auto is taking this long. Maybe they don't care about PC audiences.
No. It's the opposite of that.
Oh, okay.
Grand Theft Auto 4, when it came out, was like a pile of garbage. It was literally the worst thing to play. Top-end computers are getting like 20 frames per second, and I'm pretty sure they're just trying to avoid doing that again.
Yeah, I can see that, but it's just weird that they have this big of a team and it's taken this long to come out on the PC in this form.
They don't do PC games very often.
Well, maybe they're working on a DLC and they're waiting for that to be
They
finished.
are working on, like in the article it says, they're trying to make certain that the heists, which were announced when the game came out on like PS3 and 360, like they said that, we're gonna get these out like in a few months.
The multiplayer heists?
Yeah. And they're not out. They're coming out with the PC release, and since that's being put off, so are the heists. And that's made a lot of people mad because that's why they got the game.
Yeah.
So
the heists were pimped out, and when did they show those? They showed those heists off at E3.
They were in the first announcement, like one of the first announcement trailers, not the very first one.
Well, I got the game when it came out, and I really loved it. But there was so many problems and bugs and glitches with the online play that it was almost unplayable at first. So I'd gotten rid of the game before it got popular. The online version.
The single player is really good in that game. The online sort of failed it for a while, and still to this day sort of does. A lot of people don't agree with the way they handle it. Like, you can buy money, you have to grind out levels to get certain equipment, like weapons and such. And that sort of bugs people on like a weird, like, emotional level for some reason.
I mean, it's playable, but I mean, this new pay-to-play thing is
A lot of games are doing that now, like Need for Speed, The Crew, mostly Ubisoft games.
And EA Sports is big on it too.
EA is really big on it too now.
But I guess what's weird for me is like if this was Rockstar's first big foray into multiplayer gaming and big multiplayer games, then maybe I'd be like, yeah, well, I understand that. But like Red Dead had a huge online thing.
Oh yeah, that game had amazing online.
Yeah, both Red Dead and Grand Theft Auto 4 were kind of legendary for their online component after a little while. And then, Grand Theft Auto 5 comes out and just craps the bed. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, I understand they're promising more than they ever have before, but Rockstar's a big company, probably one of the biggest American developers out there.
Maybe they were just trying to do too much, on the online platform, and that's where they went wrong, is they weren't able to hold up to their end of the deal, so to speak.
And, that's what I'm thinking, because, Grand Theft Auto 5 is a gigantic game, even just the single player or whatever, and so, coming up with, all these unique ideas for online can easily, bloat it or just make it sort of bad in a way. I see what they wanted to do, but it just wasn't there all the way.
But do you want to know what's not sort of bad in a way?
What's that?
I don't know. How about you tell me, Jake?
Well, Michael, Hotline Miami 2 has a release date of March 10th.
So I can play Ryan Gosling, the video game 2, Electric Boogaloo, in March?
In March. On March 10th in specific.
Now, I'm aware of what Ryan Gosling 2, Electric Boogaloo is going to be, but I don't know if Sean does. Can you please tell Sean what Hotline Miami 2 wrong number coming out on March?
I'm going to set this down real fast. Hotline Miami, the first one, much similar to Drive, the movie. If you've never seen Drive, it's about a guy who just gets phone calls and you go out on jobs and then you brutally murder people. It is
hyper violent. It is hyperactive. It has a great music track, which I will be bumping.
Yeah.
Till the break of dawn.
You can get that second one, the second game's soundtrack on vinyl.
Oh, so what's the difference between Grand Theft Auto and
Hotline? For one thing, the perspective. Hotline Miami is played from a top-down perspective, and
like the old GTAs.
Yes, very much like the old GTAs. Now I think about it, and that's actually a really good comparison. Grand Theft Auto 2 is actually really similar. Now I think about it.
But you can't play as Ryan Gosling.
You cannot play as Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
What's with the Ryan Gosling reference?
So okay, Hotline Miami is very similar to the movie Drive, in that you play as just this guy. His name is Jacket.
Okay.
Because he wears a jacket, much like Ryan Gosling. And then you go around and you beat people, but when you don't have the jacket on or whatever, he's this normal dude. You put on these different masks and they affect how your game plays. One of my favorite masks personally is Tony the Tiger. Normally when you don't have a weapon, when you punch someone, you can just rough them up, punch them, knock them over, whatever. And then you can I don't know, stomp on them. When you're using Tony, it's one-hit kills. So there's that. You get one where you start with a gun. You get one where you can take a bullet. All those different sorts of things. Because in that game, if you get hit once, you have to start that area over again. Oh. Yeah, it is very.
It is
punishing. At least it makes it a little more realistic than Grand Theft Auto, where you can just get shot 50 times.
Yeah, bullet sponge. 5 is a bit better about that, but yeah. So.
That's it for the video game panel. Please join us later for the music panel. Welcome back to the entertainment panel, and now we have music. We're going to be taking a look at the top 100, and on top is still Uptown Funk. It came onto the chart about 14 weeks ago, and it's skyrocketed ever since. How do we feel about Uptown Funk, guys?
I actually think it's a really catchy song. I'm curious where this Mark Ronson guy came from.
I actually know about Mark Ronson. He got his start working in the big business with Amy Winehouse. And he did a bunch of old-fashioned kind of stuff, kind of throwback jams. I think Amy Winehouse kind of brought some of that stuff back. So Mark Ronson, he wanted to do some work, and Bruno Mars has been doing a lot of throwback jams lately. So they got together and they made the #1 song on the Billboard charts right now, and I think it deserves to be there.
Yeah, I mean it's a good song. If not getting a little played out at this point, like you said, it's been on the charts for about 14 weeks now.
All songs, all popular music tends to get played out, so I understand where you're coming from.
But yeah, Mark Ronson, he seems to be a very good producer. A lot of his music seems to be throwback, kind of disco-y sounding.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to hear what else he comes out with.
A lot of that 80s sound is really coming back with Mark Ronson, but there's also smaller bands like Big Black Delta, Daft Punk's last record. very 80s disco based with Get Lucky.
Get Lucky.
Yeah, that song really.
That was my favorite
80s
song of 2013. How do we feel about Maroon 5's latest dominance with Sugar and then I think Animals somewhere on here?
Yeah, it's in the 20s. I've never been a big Maroon 5 person.
They've always been hit or miss with me.
Yeah.
I do like a lot of their songs on their newest album. There's quite a few that had like that really poppy, like catchy feel.
Yeah.
And I'm a sucker for a good beat. Like, it doesn't matter what the song's about. If it's a good beat, I'm all about it.
It's really become the Adam Levine show, and that's kind of weird because Adam Levine is not talented enough to have the Adam Levine show be Maroon 5.
He's trying to be Justin Timberlake. It looks.
You're right. a lot of people are trying to be Justin Timberlake lately, and you know who I think succeeding at it? Ed Sheeran. Although I don't think Thinking Out Loud is his Justin Timberlake piece really, but Don't and Sing were really good.
Yeah, Ed Sheeran is huge right now. I mean, his last album was amazing, especially in comparison to his first album, which kind of just flopped a little bit.
It's kind of boring.
I think he gives Jason Mraz a run for his money as far as vocals. A different style than Justin Timberlake, in my opinion, though. He's not really going for that R&B.
I understand where you're coming from, but he has like Don't and Sing are really kind of have this dark smoothness to them, or at least Don't does, and it's a weird angle that I don't think lame Ed Sheeran could play. But I really hope he plays it up with his new stuff because I would like to hear more of that on the radio.
You were telling me earlier, didn't you say that Don't was about Ellie Goulding?
Don't was about Ellie Goulding.
Demi Lovato.
It was Ellie Goulding and their tumultuous relationship where she cheated on him with a dude from One Direction. I don't know who, a person on One Direction. Are they all the same person? I think
I don't know.
Pretty much.
They are a coalesced whole. They're a big glob that separates every now and then.
See, I was confusing stories because I heard that Demi Lovato got some kind of infectious lung disease, and I was wondering if I was relating between Ellie Goulding and was thinking like a karmic kind of thing, but I guess it's not the same person.
As for some other news, some less happy news, the lead singer for Iron Maiden has cancer, unfortunately. Now, Iron Maiden, I, as a person who enjoys metal heavily, am saddened by this news, but I just want to say, Iron Maiden's pretty good.
May they keep on breaking the law.
That's Judas Priest, Michael.
That's totally Judas Priest.
Trooper then? I don't know metal.
Yeah, there you go. Troopers, Iron Maiden.
I would love to have seen Iron Maiden live. They haven't performed in a long time, but I've heard that they put on some amazing shows in their prime.
Yeah, Iron Maiden, really good live show. They're like one of the big founding 80s metal groups.
Oh, I know Iron Maiden. They're that band that did Master of Puppets, right?
All right, that's gonna do it for the entertainment panel this week.
And to keep it going with what's trending, we have a Power Rangers short film that we think you'll all enjoy.
You can check that out right there. Check us out on our social media sites right here, and Seymour Underground TV right there. Thank you for watching, and leave your feedback below to keep the conversation going. And don't forget to subscribe.